So I've created time and space blocks to remembering when I made these decisions, and the only way to get that memory is through the Holy Spirit, which unifies all those across time and space. Say something. I'm just like on a
Well,
rant.
no. What I'm remembering is my first love, the guy I was engaged to, and then the wedding got canceled. I was engaged to him twice, at any rate. As far as a way of remembering, this was the most bizarre thing. I guess I knew about mirror work, where you kind of talk to yourself and stuff like that. And after he said a month before we were going to get married, he couldn't do it. I felt absolutely crushed, broken. I'm in my early 20s. I am just a mess. I'm throwing up, having my first anxiety attacks and everything else. And I decided to sit down. And the only thing I could say to myself, or which was I was really saying to this ex, my ex, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. And the weirdest thing happened. As I kept saying it over and over and over again, it actually took me back sort of to the beginning of time, where I had the experience of when I first left. When I first said I wanted to do this, whatever this is, I had the sense, at first I thought I was saying, it took me all the way back to saying, please don't leave me, God, or please don't leave me, love, or whatever you wanted to call that. But I had a remembering of the beginning of it all. It was the most strange thing. And I realized that all abandonment issues, this was just a personal revelation, all abandonment issues are based on that first mad idea that I thought I left the one and only true love, which is God itself. And so somehow in this world, a real cry for help is answered. It was answered in that moment. Now, it didn't take away the pain of my particular situation.
In the same visualization, isn't that the one where you remembered being left by him as like a jailer?
Yes.
I mean, in other words, that primal memory somehow decayed into a more past life regression.
So I know that the Course doesn't like to talk about past lives, but dreams within dreams within dreams is sort of what I consider past lives. They're all just different grooves on a record. It's a new song, but it's all still on the flat, and so you have a different story. And so, but it's still, you're still playing it out, and it's you or whatever that is. And I did. I had first the experience that he left me, and I feel like it was a plague. He was a guard, and they had put in all these people in quarantine, and I was a child that was only between like 7 and 8 years old. And we built this relationship. He loved it. I could tell through, he wanted to be able to let me go, but he couldn't do anything about it because for whatever reason, I don't really know. But I actually saw, and at some point, he never came back. I was just left there to die and to turn to bones. So I actually saw like these bones in a corner, just in a cell somewhere in Europe. That's the way it felt like, somewhere in Europe during a plague. And that somehow he was tied to that particular memory. But as I kept saying that particular mantra, please don't leave me, it took me to that particular memory. And then it took me to the memory of the first sense of abandonment. So all I can say is that if you've experienced abandonment, a lot of people have it for some reason at certain times in their lives, when things don't go your way, it feels like somebody, a parent, a friend, or somebody has abandoned you. It's, to me, I was able in that instant to have a recognition of the first sense of thinking I could abandon the one and only true love. Okay, that's all I can say about that.
No,
Do you
no,
have
that's
anything else?
excellent. I mean, I think it's really powerful, and it's no laughing matter.
No, no.
And what's interesting about it is that what makes it not a laughing matter is that you have two people who truly are separate, and they have separated for the purpose of establishing pain, abandonment, disease, an uncontrollable circumstance, and victimization in the most pitiful way possible.
Right.
And that's why they split apart, was to create accomplishment and its real effects up there. You know, it's like, and it's not anything to laugh about, and that's the reason for it, to create situations that are no laughing matter, my friends. This is the real deal. What we're doing here, here in 3D,
Yes,
this is real stuff, man. And
Right.
if somebody laughs about it, they're not paying attention.
you're right. Yeah.
So it's beautiful that way, isn't it? But now what would change it is if I let's say occupied both of our chairs, and I'm talking to myself over there, and I'm taking a wig, and I'm putting a wig on myself over here, or a beard on myself over there, and I'm going back and forth talking to myself, it starts to look like a comedy routine.
Right, it does.
Or like the Woody Allen movie, what was that one called? Where he
Melinda.
Melinda, where that's one movie is expressed one way. I haven't seen it. Expressed one
It's
way.
a tragedy and the other one's a comedy.
Right, but same lines are delivered
Yes.
in each one.
Yes, it is. It's actually a very great concept. I actually enjoyed it, at any rate, to look at things from one side. That comedy is like so close to tragedy, and tragedy is so close to comedy. Yeah, he delivered the same characters delivered the same lines, but with an entirely different tonality and everything. One is just like completely disastrous, and the other one is completely comedic.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
In the case of the guy,
Uh-huh.
and you're the child in a jail cell or something, or in a cell, and you're
Yeah.
a plague. You're
It's
innocent.
quarantine. Yeah, yeah.
In
I'm
fact,
considered innocent.
In fact, the
Yeah.
beauty of that one is you're both innocent.
Yeah.
He's a victim of circumstances. You're a victim of circumstances, and you got nothing but tragedy. And in that tragedy, one of them is fully and totally abandoned, and the other one fully and totally does the abandoning. And that's exactly what happened in your
In this particular
engagement in
Yes,
this lifetime.
yes, right.
It also happened right before we met with that other guy.
Yeah.
So this is a deep imprint to understand something that repeats like echoes from the past.
Right. I would say that it's attempting in my dreamscape, or whatever you want to call that, this sequence of things where you recognize that the first abandonment was the mad idea that I could actually be abandoned. Okay? Well,
And I projected onto God that he abandoned me when I was the one that ran away
Yes.
from home.
yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So if I could truly remember that and embrace it, then this world would not seem so frightening.